Alright, it was a Saturday half day at work. I had a tough decision to make. Do I fly down to Evansville, Tropicana and play in a satellite for next month's MSPT? Or do I roll to the Horseshoe Southern Indiana and try to get another cash result like the previous vlog? Well, after the very last vlog's rant about the structures being too fast, the satellite will be too fast in the Tropicana, so I'm going to pass on that. So used to be able to call right in of the Trop and be on the list that I forget about it for the Horseshoe, if that makes any sense. That's crazy. But I'm like 6 on the list, so I think I'm gonna go play some blackjack to pass the time because I don't know what to do with myself whenever I have all this free time. Well, I walked around and I thought about it, and the better side of me decided that I'm working on a goal here. There's no point in blowing any of it for the table games. Okay, first cash session since listening to the Jonathan Little audiobook. So I come out playing a little more aggressive and a little more conscious of the bets I'm making. I know you guys don't want to see me raise my draw so that I can deal it with a blank river. You don't want to see me make smaller bets with my premium hands just so I can get more action. Check the turn with the intent of value betting the river. You probably don't want to see me flop a set of 10s, slow play, and take a guy's whole stack. Nor raise a straddler with a small pocket pair where I would usually just limp in and then c-bet any flop to take that one. So ace is on the button. The villain in this hand raises pre-flop to $15. We're about an hour and a half into the session. I've watched him raise quite a bit. I watched him get it all in on like the first or second hand of the brand new session, brand new table, and reload. I've 3-bet his raises pre-flop a few times already, and he always calls. So when he raises to $15, I know that raising to 40 will for sure get him to call. So that's what I chose to raise to. Everyone else folded. He called as planned. And we see a rag rainbow flop. Instead of letting me continue to be the aggressor, he bets out 50 bucks. At this point, I'm trying to figure out already how I can get his stack, and I choose the route of just calling this flop bet with the intention of raising his turn bet. Queen on the turn. Once again, he bets $50. And this is where I decide I'm gonna try to see how much he wants to play for, and I raise. He goes all in, so evidently he wanted to play for the whole shebang. At this point, I'm putting him on kings, maybe ace, queen, or even a smaller pair. I don't believe he has a set of 9s, 5s, deuces. So I call his 240 with 290 behind me, and he shows pocket queens right away. Doesn't slow play or anything, so I appreciate that. And the river's a blank doesn't help. I'm not sure what you guys think on the betting there. I don't see myself folding no matter how it would have went down. If I would have raised the flop, he would have came along. We would eventually got it all in anyhow, even on the river. Unless it was a really scary river that could have took me off aces, but I don't see how I could have folded the aces to this player the way this board ran out. Is there anything I could have done differently with my bet sizing? Maybe on the flop to get him off of his pocket queens? I don't believe so, but I am curious to see what you guys think. So I was back to starting stack. I wasn't feeling tilted or anything based on that play. It's going to happen. About a half an hour later, I'm in late position with queen 10. The same guy who's been straddling all day does his $8 straddle on the button. The big blind calls the $8. And then we have the same villain raising to $16. I heard a saying once and it stuck with me. It was Antonio, and I think he was requoting Lane Flack. I'm not 100% sure who originated it, but he said you never fold 40% of a royal flush pre-flop. Ever since then, it's haunted me because I don't think I've let any suited Broadway hands go pre-flop. But I call the $16 knowing that I will have some callers behind me. The cutoff calls, which surprised me. And the dealer, of course, calls, and the big blind. We see another rainbow flop, this time 10-7-4, giving me the pair of 10s. Big blind checks, and the villain does his standard, betting out $50. I throw in 2 greens for the call. When you throw in the greens, that means you're getting it all in. You don't have any intention of keeping your stack at this point, in my experience. And it folds around. At this point, there are players in between us talking about us going at it again. It was kind of a rivalry all day. I was trying not to let that get to me any, but I'm sure it influenced my play a little bit. The turn brought the ace of clubs, so any of his ace hands have us beat but it gives us a flush draw. He bets $50. Deja vu. I get the weird idea to raise once again to $100, leaving about $125 behind. And to repeat the aces versus queens hand, he goes all in over my raise. I call off my last $125, and the river's a blank. No club, no help. Are my tens good? Of course not. He had pocket aces. Let's sit here and think about this. I'm not even sure what just happened. I've replayed the hands by now. What I think slightly happened was my looser image got in the way. I usually play pretty tight, so when I was raising so often, no one was respecting that. I started to tighten up a little bit, but then started actually getting hands. And those actual hands are what cost me. Time to regroup. I was up a lot. I was up heaps and heaps, as you saw. I ended up down all 300. There'll be days like this that really, it sucks. It really sucks. One cool thing that happened was a guy sat next to me and said that he had just watched my YouTube video an hour ago. It was the first one he had seen. I turned around to talk to Ray's at the other table, and when I turned back, he was gone, so I didn't get to say anything, but, I mean, a couple words, but shout out to that guy. And although I was up heaps in an hour and a half, you know, plus 400 and some, there was no consideration of leaving that soon. I was gonna ride this day out. I wasn't gonna hit and run and take a good one for my bankroll. Should I have? Should I have done that? The table was just too soft. When there was a point when a son and daughter left, and they were just giving it away. I mean, two other guys left. One guy was a solid player. He got beat out of the pot by the villain in my two hands. They all left, and it changed a little bit, but I still don't think I could have left. The table didn't necessarily get too much better. I think I'm just a victim today. A variance victim. I know that last hand I didn't have to shove, I didn't have to raise, and I didn't have to shove my last 125 in, but in the moment I felt as though he was just messing with me. He was messing with me, but he wasn't. Lucky old guy, man. He had aces a lot. He had trip queens twice, you know. I should have put him on the queen. On the trip queens. I don't know how, but I should have, right? I'm all the way through the Jonathan Little audiobook, and I really think it helped my play. I just think I got unlucky. I'm going to listen to it all the way again. One more time. One more time. I feel you guys kicking me already in the comments. I feel it. I feel it. I hope you stick with me. This is what I do. I build it up, and I toss it out, you know? It seems like I'll have a really good session where I do really good, and then the next session is a losing session. No clue why that happens. Because I'm a fish, right? I'm a donkey. If you believe that, you're not going to like the way 2017 turns out. I'm going to turn it around, and I'm still here. I'm still going to learn. Hopefully I learn, because I'm still tore up about that Queen 10 hand. I don't think I had to make it as big of a hand as I did, obviously, and I just played it really stupid. The aces hand, I don't know. I feel like I had it, you know. I feel like that was my hand, and I wasn't looking at, you know, a certain number of chips or dollars. I thought I had the best hand and wanted all that he had, you know. It's painful, man. Poker is painful. Thanks for watching. Thanks for thumbs up. Thanks for the comments. I appreciate any of the attention or advice you guys give. It's awesome. It helps the pain just a little bit. Very little bit, but just a little bit.